Hi guys, and welcome to Excel tutorial of creating a VLOOKUP function. VLOOKUP itself, mostly we use it when you need to find information in a large spreadsheet or always looking for the same kind of information. So VLOOKUP is strongly advisable that you know how to use that. And I'm just going to show you guys how this works. If I clear that now, we still have some data in there. Okay, we can search for that very data. So we have a search button there. Okay, or we can exit out, and I'm going to run it again. Run. There. You drop this down, select whatever data you want to look for. Let's say there's no data in there at all. Let's assume even this one is not there. And you try to type in anything, the system pops up with this message box asking you to select the data. That's what VLOOKUP is all about. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into Excel development environment, and we put one of these together. So let's exit out. There. I'm going to start a new tutorial entirely using this very data. Look at how huge the data is. Okay, so let's come up here. Make sure you have your developer tab. If you don't have your developer tab, all you need to do is to go to File, select Options. Inside the Options, select Customize Ribbon, and make sure you have the popular command, and there you should be able to see your developer. Make sure it is checked. Click on OK. Once it's checked, you should be able to see your developer menu right there. And all you then need to do is make sure you click on your developer menu, and that will bring you this menu right there. Okay, you can then select the Visual Basic, or you can press Alt F11. Okay, if you select Alt F11, just click on the Visual Basic itself, and here we have Insert. Click on Insert and click on Userform there. Now let's define the size of this form. I'm going to make the height about, let's go for maybe 800, and the width, I'm going to make the width, that is the width right there, I'm going to make that 1030. That's the width. There we go. Right, so let's add a label here. I'm going to use that for my title, and I'm going to add frames here, and in here I'm going to add text box, bring that down, and combo box up here, labels, and we need, yeah, that would be about 4 here. Right, there we go. Select this and just hold on to the control, click and drag. There we go. Now for the label, I'm going to change the font size. In fact, let's change the font size of all the components. I'm going to make that about, let's go for 20 bold. Right, now let's copy this label across. There we go. Right, and one here. Hold down the Shift key, click and drag. Okay, so let's increase the size of this label as well to about 40, maybe 48. There we go. Change the background color of that to green, And the font, I'm going to add something light to the font. No, it should be bold. Fonts, let's add something lighter. Okay, this one is fine. Button face, and come right here. I'm going to get it centered and change the text content on it. Go to the caption. Let's just enter create a VLOOKUP function. There, that's fine. So I'm going to copy this across. First of all, let's see how wide that is. I'm going to make it 150. Change that to 150. Come to the width and just enter 150 in there. I guess you guys might not be able to see it properly. Okay, let's just change that to 150. Alright, so all I'm just going to do now is just copy this, paste it right here and here, copy again, paste it here. Okay, that's good. So let's reduce that, do that again, bring it down. Now this frame, let's get rid of the text content in that frame. Go to the caption as well, get rid of it, delete, and change the back color to green. There, so I can then copy this how I want. Increase that, and let's make a little copy that I'm going to use to design the interface. Hold on to the control, click and drag. There, and I'm going to need this up here as well, and just copy, add some buttons to it, move this here, there we go, add this, we need one more there, and let's add some buttons to it and just smooth it up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to speed up the whole design of the interface, but before I do that, let me show you guys the data that I'm going to be using. The data is right here. So you can see the very first column here is called student ID. So student ID is going to be right here. Change. Let's go back in there and get out of that cell. There we go. Now select this and change that to student ID. There, the next one, okay, that's first name, so select that. Then we have last name and so on. That's first name. There we go, this one is going to be last name. And so on. So I'm going to speed that up. And just before then we need 3 buttons anyway, 1, 2 and 3. So let's speed up the design of the interface and I'll get back to you guys shortly. Alright, I've finished with the development of the interface itself, so let's run it and see how that looks like. This is how it's looking now, but there's nothing happening here. So let's exit out. Now I'm going to take you guys straight to the workbook. This is the workbook. Before we do anything, I need to select the data that I'm going to be using the VLOOKUP for. So I'm going to select the ID. I'm going to be using the student ID. Okay, select the very first cell in here and take it right down all the way. Let's keep going. Yeah, there we go. Hold on to the shift key and just click on that, and that has selected the whole column. So in here I'm going to change the name of that of the selections that I've just made. I'm going to change it to, let's say, I look up. There, that is the name of that very column now. See this very name called iLookup? Let's select the combo box. Why the combo box is selected? Let's look for the properties, that is the role source. There we go, and in there I'm going to enter iLookup there, and that's it. So if I run it now, I should be able to see all of those data. Look at that right in here. Okay, there, and that is that done. So what I'm going to now do is, if I select any of this record here, I want you to just give me information about any of the students selected. So let's start by exiting out here, and right there I'm going to double click on this same combo box. When you double click on it, the event you are taken to is the change event, but I don't want to use the change event. I'm going to change that to click event. You can use change event, the choice is yours, but I prefer to use the click event. So I'm going to say dim Q, then P as long. Then I'm now going to initialize Q as equals application dot the worksheet function. I also want dot count A, and the data that I'm going to be counting is actually on sheet number 1 dot range, and that is in A, column A, and close that. So let's press enter. Now let's use a for loop. For P equals 1 to 15, because it's going to take it from 0 to 15. Now I'm going to say me, that will be text. If the me that I'm saying is, that is meant to be the user form. Me, if it has a text box on it, and that text box is part of letter P, this very one here inside the for loop, dot value, and if the value equals, let's say, application dot worksheet function dot VLOOKUP, yeah, and C as long, that should be long int, and me dot the name of my combo box, that is called CBO, yeah, that is it right there, CBO lookup dot value there, comma, we need enough room. I'm going to go to the next line, and I'm now going to say the sheet number 1 dot range, and that is going to start from A, and row 2, then P, and that is Q. And if you're wondering which P do I have in here, the P that I have in here, that is the last column. Look at it right there. Okay, from here to here. Okay, now we now close that up, and we say comma P plus 1 comma 0, and let's get it nested. There should be space in here, not one word. Okay, let's say next. P there. So you're looking at these simple lines of code. If I run it now, what will happen is, whatever data selected or whatever student ID selected, it will look for each individual data and just populate the table. So let me show it to you guys, and you see what I'm talking about. Now click in here, select anyone, look at that. Okay, that's Stevens, Brian, and so on. That is how it works. That's your VLOOKUP taken care of. Okay, so let's just clear it and search. With the search, I'm just going to copy, double click on that. I will just copy this and call that for the search. That's a call there. That is for the search. As for the reset, double click on reset. Let's use a for loop to take care of the reset. So, or the clear. So in there, I'm going to say dim txt. So that will represent the text, all the text box in there. I say for each txt in me.controls if type of control, if type of txt is Microsoft forms dot text box, then I want this down. That very txt dot text, get it cleared as text equals clear, and if there, and next txt. Okay, at the same time, if you want to clear the combo box, you can just clear the text box, the text inside the combo box if you want. Let's put that there. So the text equals clear. There. Let's try that out. Run. Select, enter data, clear. Let's see. See that, guys? That's how it works. Okay. Now, if you know any of the student number that you want to search for, yes, you can, but you must know the student number. Let's clear it, enter data in there, and you can search if you want. The most effective way for this to work is, let's assume we go back to the clear and comment this out, run. If you select clear, there, and let's say you want to look for this student, there we go. Okay, now let's take care of exit. Double click on the exit button and right there. So I'm going to start by declaring as follows. Let's say dim I exit as VB message box result, and I'm going to say I exit, that is equals MSG box, and we just enter confirm if you want to exit, and there. So that's my very first argument, comma. Second argument is going to be VB question there, and I'm going to say plus VB yes no there, comma. Now my fourth argument, that is going to be, let's just call it lookup, VLOOKUP. Okay, let's VLOOKUP system there. Close that, and now I'm going to use if statement. If I exit equals VB yes, then me unload me, something like that, unload me, and you just say and if there. That is it, all done. So that is how you create your own lookup. Now I'm going to run that. So have a good look at the exit, and have a good look at the lookup and the reset or the clear. Run. There we go. Exit, no. Search for more data. Exit, yes. And just before I go, I'm going to show you guys how to save this. So go straight to file, click on save, and there I'm going to give it a name. I will call it VLOOKUP underscore pulse. That is for my second channel. And here you see where you have Save type, I'm going to change that straight to Excel macro enable. Make sure it's changed to Excel macro enable. And double click on this folder and just click on save. There. So guys, with that I'm going to call it the end of this beautiful tutorial. And this is Paul Oamen, the owner of DJ Oamen channel. And this is my second channel, guys. And please do subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to get it up to 100,000 plus. So with that, guys, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. And I will also include the link to my first channel, DJ Oamen. You guys can always pay me a visit there as well. You all have a nice day now. And bye for now.